Uppena is a 2021 romantic drama Telugu film. You may think this movie is like any other romantic story, but watch till the end of this video to find the twist that makes it an emotionally and uniquely romantic story. A rich, respected and feared Raayanam goes to any extent to protect his daughter and safeguard his family's honor when his daughter falls in love with Aasi, belonging to a low-caste Christian family. Despite Raayanam ensures Aasi to suffer in the most gruesome way, how his daughter and Aasi get back together is what the rest of the story is. The year is 2002 and in the village of Uppena, Raayanam is a well-known, influential and a rich landlord. This is his house and he has many servants. He has a doting daughter named Sangeeta, fondly called as Bebamma, who is being dropped to her college. These two boys try to follow the car to see Bebamma. Her father's men stop them and beat them blue and black. You can very well see that Raayanam goes to any extent to protect his daughter. Unlike rich father's spoiled kids, Bebamma is very generous at heart. Here, Raayanam's servant is seen telling to a woman from the village that Bebamma has helped her with money and clothes for her child. Till this time, Bebamma is not shown in the movie until the revenue officer gets shocked to see Raayanam talking and offering milk to Bebamma's photo kept on a table. Raayanam hits and kicks the revenue officer, then plans to kill him to know that Bebamma is not living with them. But when the revenue officer fearfully convinces Raayanam to trust him as his confidante, Raayanam spares him. We'll see how psycho this Raayanam can get. Here the truth is revealed that it has been 5 months after Bebamma has left her father's house. Raayanam made his servants and the village to believe having Bebamma's presence. When Raayanam's father tries to knock this sense into Raayanam, blinded in his pride, catches his father by neck, explains that his father had Raayanam to look after his daughter, but Raayanam says he only has a daughter, because of which Raayanam will only be the one left to find and bring her back. At the end, scene cuts to Raayanam confessing to killing someone. If you're still listening, please hit the like button on this video. It will help to display this video on others' YouTube screen. Thank you. To the story. This movie takes us back to the flashback exactly 5 months ago. Aasi, a low-caste Christian from a fisherman family, is fighting off the men from Mayapatnam who tore his men's fishing nets. Aasi hurriedly follows a bus having none other than Bebamma. It is revealed that Aasi was fond of Bebamma and loved her for 10 years. This is Bebamma's mother and you have already seen her grandfather, Raayanam's father. Raayanam plans to build a shipping yard in his village by removing fishermen's houses on the coast and Raayanam kills anyone objecting to it. This is Jana, Raayanam's nephew, his sister's son, who has his dirty eyes set on Bebamma. It is revealed here that Bebamma's mother becomes paralyzed and gets impaired speech while giving birth to Bebamma. Bebamma's mother alerts everyone when Jana intimidates her with his dirty speech. When Bebamma comes to her shocked mother to inquire, Jana touches Bebamma in an inappropriate way. Bebamma complains to her father, but Raayanam, who is more worried about his reputation and pride, does not react. When Bebamma reiterates about her father's reaction to her mother about the earlier incident, her mother is deeply saddened to know that Raayanam is least bothered about them. At a biology class, the teacher draws a male reproductive system on the board and the entire class makes fun at the drawing. You know what the teacher tells them? This scene has got the most beautiful dialogues and this is a must-watch movie. The teacher tells that this is just a man's anatomy but does not define a man. The teacher emphasizes that if a woman feels a man's love for her entire lifetime, that is a real manhood. If the girl does not need love and is thrilled to have a man, then for her will be only manhood. Bebamma becomes more serious when the teacher tells the woman should be able to sense that manhood lies in every single cell in the man's body and not just in his private parts. Bebamma finds Aasi to fit into the teacher's description and sees him for the first time fighting in the market. While Jana forces Bebamma to come with him, Aasi hits Jana unintentionally. This all makes Bebamma fall for Aasi. One day the bus breaks down and the driver asks Aasi to drop Bebamma to her college, the only passenger of the bus. She is dropped at her college by Aasi. From here we will be able to see the romance has started budding between Bebamma and Aasi. The couple begins to meet daily at the beach. Aasi joins his father Jalaya along with other fishermen, knowing that they are visiting Raayanam. Unintentionally he sneaks into Bebamma's mother's room, helps her to not fall down from the bed, also covers her properly. Bebamma's mother is shocked to see a stranger in a room but comes to know that Aasi and Bebamma love each other. Aasi's father Jalaya tries to request Raayanam to not send them away from the ocean where they make their living, but the meeting does not go fruitful as Raayanam is still adamant to build his shipping yard at the seacoast by evicting the fishermen living there. Aasi meets Bebamma and manages to be in the fishermen's group photo with Raayanam for publishing in news. Raayanam's sister wants her son Jana, the pervert, to get married to his brother Raayanam's daughter Bebamma. But Raayanam gently rejects her proposal as his sister's husband disgraced the family's honor by abandoning his sister for a low-caste girl, and he would not get his daughter married into such a family. Meanwhile, Raayanam has decided to fix his daughter's Bebamma's marriage with the son of rural MLA Damera Fanindra belonging to his caste. Bebamma unhappily conveys to her mother that she does not want to get married to another man. The breeding season of the fish arrives, but everyone is restricted to go into the sea for over a month and a half, else people will be fined heavily. Due to this, each of the fishermen households collect 1/10 of their savings to bear the expenses for the 45 days during which they cannot earn. Despite the restriction to go into the sea, Aasi takes Bebamma on her request, but the boat runs out of fuel, leaving them to spend the night in the sea. On the same night, Raayanam orders to take down the houses on the coast. Raayanam, worrying that his daughter hasn't returned home, he goes through her things. Her sandals covered in sand, the shells and stones that she has collected, and finally his eyes lay on a man's shirt he finds among Bebamma's dresses. Raayanam remembers his daughter being wet once returning from college, and another instance where the rival from Mayapatnam calls Raayanam, feeling despite the restriction he saw someone with a girl venturing into the sea. His suspicion makes him visit the coastal area and finds Aasi's father Jalaya. Raayanam asks Jalaya to get back his missing daughter, and in return all the 150 houses will be spared. Aasi and Bebamma get physically intimate on the boat. With the help of Aasi's friend, Jalaya finds Aasi and Bebamma and takes Bebamma to Raayanam, but lies that she was alone in the boat. Raayanam appoints his man Govindu to escort Bebamma and not to lose out of sight again. Aasi avoids Bebamma after his father tells him that the survival of 150 households depends on him, as Raayanam has allowed keeping their houses for having Bebamma returned to him. Raayanam is determined to find Bebamma's partners using the guy's shirt. He discovers a group photo having Aasi in the same shirt. Raayanam's men attack Aasi and his father at the village annual festival event, but Jalaya is killed. Raayanam catches Bebamma to visit Aasi at the hospital. Not tarnish the family's image in front of the community and keep everything secret, Raayanam promises his sister to get his daughter married to Jana. Aasi goes to Bebamma's house to avenge his father's death. When he learns Bebamma is missing, he returns home and finds Bebamma. They both board a train, escaping from Raayanam's men, and reach Odisha. This is why Raayanam makes the entire people in the village believe that Bebamma is living with them. To find Raayanam's men searching for them in Odisha, Bebamma and Aasi leave for Kolkata, and from there they reach Gangtok. To find Bebamma not safe, he takes her to a ladies' hostel and does odd jobs until they move together. At work, Aasi befriends his colleague Ruben, and when the owner finds him honest and hardworking, after listening to Aasi's story, the owner gives Aasi the hostel money to let Bebamma continue her stay in hostel. Bebamma insists on living together, and Aasi starts living with Bebamma in Ruben's house. One day, Aasi gets hurt while saving Bebamma from a road accident. When Aasi is being treated in the hospital, Bebamma gets thrilled to hold a newly born baby. Nearly 6 months after they elope, Aasi promises to marry Bebamma and takes her to a railway station. There, Raayanam's men kidnap Bebamma and bring her back to her father. When Raayanam tells his daughter to marry only the guy of his choice, Bebamma confesses to Raayanam that she had sex with Aasi that night on the boat and tells him to let her go. But Raayanam insists that he won't allow his daughter to marry a lower caste man, which he considers dishonorable. This is the twist, that it was Aasi who disclosed their location to Raayanam. Aasi was very ashamed to tell Bebamma about what her father did to him, because of which Aasi felt he would be doing injustice to Bebamma, who desires to become the mother of his child. Hence, he purposely created the distance between him and Bebamma so that Bebamma learns to live without him and finally leads her to her father Raayanam. Raayanam further reveals that he chopped off Aasi's penis and murdered his father the night before they eloped. Raayanam thinks that her daughter would not go back to Aasi, as Aasi is incapable of giving her the happiness she should get. However, Bebamma loves Aasi as a person, regardless of what he did to him. She says it was not Aasi who took her to the sea, but it was her, and that if she ever wanted to only sleep with him, she would have done it every day. She says neither Raayanam nor Aasi is the one who can judge the manhood of a person. Bebamma adds what she learned from her teacher, that manhood is not related to the organ but to a man's personality, and that after losing the manhood, Aasi will still continue to be the man of her life. Bebama proves her heart's plight by quoting if her father would have held her mother's hand even once after she became paralyzed, then he would understand the pain to let go of her. Everyone around Bebama felt her pain and love at the same time. Bebama asks Raayanam for his blessings and leaves. Raayanam is touched as he does not stop his daughter from leaving. Bebama finds and tells Aasi that she wants kid only with him and not with some other man. She says she still sweats when she is close to Aasi, proving that despite whatever has happened so far, it did not lessen the love she has for him. What Bebama wanted to say, unknowingly the grandfather conveyed the message to his granddaughter that love and divinity never suffer from physical flaws. Aasi feels comforted. Both Bebama and Aasi reunite. The movie ends with a message that nothing stopped Aasi to be Bebama's man despite what Raayanam did to him. A person's heart is like an ocean. Ocean may have boundaries. Who can stop love's high tide? That is why Bebama crossed all the boundaries and left everything to be with Aasi. Bebama found Aasi who would care for her lifetime, and that love was enough for her lifetime. Thanks for watching. For more storytelling videos, subscribe to the Moodies channel.